guess she wanted to be in the fray. Hello, my lovely friends. My name is Ava, and today we're going to be talking about the romances I am so excited for that come out in March. I can't believe March is upon us. March is soon. So I think I have like 16 books to mention here. This is not a whole comprehensive list of all of the romances that are coming out in March. They're just books that have been put on my radar that I might be excited for, or I know that y'all will be excited for. On March 3rd, I have Nix and Tell by Allie Williams. This looks to be a safic fae romance, and I see plus size rep on the cover. I'm already obsessed. When I see a safic book, especially a safic like fantasy or paranormal, because that's even doubly as rare, I put it on my TBR just because that's like unheard of, and I love to read romances of all kinds. I'll read the tagline for this one because it seems fun. It says, being a Nix is bad enough, what with water pollution and the world's aversion to river demons. But when the river Arun's goddess turns matchmaker, nothing will be the same again for the Nixes of her river. Also on March 3rd, I have Fake Dating an Orc Cowboy by Ava Ross. I've read a few Ava Ross books, but they were alien romances. I don't know if this is an alien romance because there have been alien romances with orcs in them. However, I don't know. So I just saw Fake Dating an Orc Cowboy. Two of my like buzzwords are orc and cowboy, and then you put them together, it's a recipe for an amazing time. I assume so. And the tagline for this one is, what happens when a fake wedding date with an orc cowboy starts to feel real? So they're fake dating. Okay, sign me up. I was wondering why there was like tropical trees in the background if he's a cowboy, but there might be added like a tropical wedding. So Promise Me Sunshine by Cara Bastone comes out on March 4th, and I am so excited for this one. This is one of my most anticipated reads of the year. Anything Cara Bastone writes is going to be on my most anticipated reads of the year and possibly my favorites of the year. The tagline for this one says, how do you find yourself after you lose the one you loved most? Grieving the loss of her best friend, a young woman's life is turned upside down when she meets a grumpy stranger who swears he can save her life again. And it's heartwarming, slow burn romance. I am all for it. I'm ready to sob. Wild Side by Elsie Silver also comes out on March 4th. We have a lot of March 4th releases. But this is the, I believe, third book in her current series she is writing. I've only read book number 1, so I know I need to get caught up, but I don't even know what this one's about. Let me see. This one is a marriage of convenience where the heroine has to marry her enemy that she hates in order to keep her nephew, like to have guardianship over him or something like that. So we'll see. I guess a lot of these books in this series have like single dads or single parents like chocked full. So is that like a commonality with all these in the Rose Hill series? Another one that is one of my most anticipated reads of the year is Shadow's Heart by Kresley Cole. I am obsessed with Kresley Cole, especially her Immortals After Dark series. This is her latest book in the Immortals After Dark series. It's book number 21. Do I know who it's about? No. Do I care? No. I'm gonna be picking it up. Her Immortals After Dark series are like works of art. They are amazing books. If you have not read her Immortals After Dark series, please do it. The audiobooks are always fantastic. I literally just reread earlier this year A Hunger Like No Other, which is book number 1 in the series, because I was just wanting to feel that feeling you get when you read one of her books, because they're so good. They're so stinking good, and the lore and the magic she writes is unreal. Like I've never read another author who can write paranormal magical things like she can, honestly. Anyway, that one does come out on March 4th as well, even though like I know nothing about it. Also on March 4th, I have Crossroads of Love by Chris Abbott. This is a second chance small town romance where the heroine, whoa, hello, you wanted to sit on my lap. Okay, where the heroine was actually married to the hero's brother. So yeah, needs to come back to the small town after his dad has passed away, and they're having to like get reacquainted with one another. I actually have a copy of this book, which I'm really excited to read. So thank you so much, Chris Abbott, for sending this book my way. So make sure to go put it on your TBRs as well if you love second chance romances. I know everyone loves Morgan Elizabeth. I have yet to read a Morgan Elizabeth book, but look at how freaking cute these book covers are. This is A Never Been Worse, which is the third book in her Evergreen Park series. Comes out on March 6th, and this is a marriage of convenience Rockstar romance. Okay, you want to come? Oh goodness, here. She wanted to get her bone to sit in my lap. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really that big of a fan of Rockstar romances, but like I'm always down to try to see if someone can change my mind. So hopefully this one will. On March 7th, The Lair by Lucinda Coney comes out. I've heard great things about this author from Tori from Novel Life. I know she has great chronic illness representation in, I don't know if it's all of or at least some of her books. It looks like this is a romantic suspense novel that is slow burn and full of tension. It's perfect for readers who enjoy grumpy sunshine, age gap, and the boss-employee dynamic. I love all those things, so. It looks like the heroine, when she was a kid, was kidnapped. Oh, and she's still trying to like get over all that, especially with like her experience being shined on the internet. So this next one looked so fun. I had to put this on this list. This is Simon by Vera Fox. This comes out on March 13th. This is a fawn, like Mr. Tubman is, like a fawn romance. And I was also told this would be a Tarzan retelling. Simon is a monster slash fawn human rom-com with dark undertones. Tarzan and Jane vibes, fated mates, he falls first, and instant attraction. Love that. And it said that you can read this book as a standalone, and I haven't read any of the other books in the series. So If You Love Me by Helena Hunting comes out on March 13th as well. I recently saw the first book in this series. I don't know how I missed it, but I saw it at a bookstore and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to read that. They look so good. So yeah, most of them are age gap hockey romances, and I think this is book number 4. And yeah, this one comes out in March, but I do need to read the whole entire series before I get to this one because I love Helena's hockey romance. It's like Pucked. It's one of my favorite series of all time. On March 17th, Airhead by Avery Flynn comes out. I've read a few Avery Flynn books, but I saw her graphic for this release on her Instagram and had to put it on here because it's an 80s rom-com. Like, hell yeah. And I love this cover. Like, the man on the cover is my type to a T, so yeah, we're not gonna say anything else. Beautiful Exile by Catherine Cowles comes out on March 18th. This is book number 4 in her Sparrow Fall series. I do need to read the series. I haven't read them yet, just because I haven't read the series that takes place before this, because I was warned that there was gun violence in book number 1 specifically, and that is a trigger for me personally due to personal reasons. So I'm like, do I have to read that series before reading this one? Because I know that some of her series are like connected somehow. I've only read her Tattered and Torn series, so can I read this series as a standalone? Because I think there is one book with like a baker in it, and that is my vibe. That's my vibe. So I don't know what this one's about, but I love Catherine so much, I just had to put her on this list. A dark monster romance comes out on March 20th. This is Devil's Doom by Layla Faye. I have not read book number 1. This is the sequel to Devil's Deal. These are thick, chunky monkey, like enemies to lovers, dark fantasy romances, and it's a trilogy, and each book is about the same couple. So I do know book number 1 does end on a cliffhanger, so just be aware of that. Like literally you have like a devil creature who wants this heroine's soul, so that's all I'll say. And they like hate do it also, which I'm excited to read about. I'm excited. But this is their sequel, comes out on March 20th. I do need to finally pick up Devil's Deal. The audiobook for Devil's Deal just dropped earlier this year on Audible, so I need to go pick up that audiobook. Next I have Mile High Heat by Sarah Blue. This is the queen. Hi, hello. She's giving me her bone. Hello. I'm just holding it. She doesn't want to put in the work, obviously. This is an Omegaverse book. She is the queen of writing Omegaverse romances. I don't know what this is about. I think it takes place on a plane, and possibly something to do with the Mile High Club. Plus Omegaverse. Sounds like a great time. And that one comes out on March 21st, by the way. Count Me In by Samantha Gale comes out on March 28th. And all I saw that this is an Ugly Duckling retelling, which is so freaking rare when it comes to retellings. I love retellings. So anytime I find a book with a tagline of a retelling that I never get to read about, I pick it up. That's literally all I know, is that's an Ugly Duckling retelling. And this cover is really pretty. Lastly, I have These Jagged Edges by Tuesday James. This one comes out on March 29th. I actually saw like the illustrated cover with like the characters on it, like the graphic characters of it. I don't know if that one's like only like a graphic type that's you'll see on Instagram or not, but I saw a bunch of amazing tropes on there. I think the hero is a boxer or a fighter of some sort, and then the heroine is plus size, and maybe there's a grumpy sunshine trope if I remember correctly in there. But yeah, I'll read any sports romance with a sport that's not heavily highlighted, and like boxing and fighting isn't really one you see a lot. So anyways, there you have it. Those are all the romance books that I'm anticipating that come out in March. Let me know down below if you've read any of these or if you plan to. If you don't feel like commenting anything else, you can leave me like those boxing glove emojis down below. But yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. Miss Winnie and I will see y'all in our next one. Bye y'all.